Welcome to the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show. We're in month 6 of the coronavirus, COVID-19, hence I have on my mask by executive order of the governor of North Carolina. However, I don't have to wear it on camera. So I want to welcome you. I'm Shifa, the natural healing voice of the soul of Mother Earth, and I'm so glad you tuned in today. Thank you for watching. We have a wonderful show for you today, as always. In part 1, we're going to be talking to Michael Thomas from 1000 Great Minds, and he's going to be giving us an overview of what 1000 Great Minds is, and then we're going to talk about his USP, right? What this extraordinary venture is that 1000 Great Minds is up to. In our second half of the show, we're going to get into some wellness. This is the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show, and we're going to talk about healthy spirit, mind, body, family, finance. We do that in 13 dimensions. And today, we're going to talk about our endocrine glands, the chakra system, and the pineal gland, okay? And that has everything to do with our hormones, our energy, and even cosmic energy as it's flowing into us. So we're going to talk about the autonomic system of our body as it relates to our healthy spirit, mind, and body. So I want you to stay tuned, and I'm going to jump in now with Michael Thomas. As always, make sure you go get your blue pen and your white paper, and make sure you take copious notes, because you are about to get that natural healing information you've been seeking. All right, so let me welcome our guest to our show today, Michael Thomas. Welcome, welcome. So happy to have you again on the show. So it's always good to talk to you about 1000 Great Minds. So what I really wanted to do is give an explanation and an overview of what exactly is 1000 Great Minds. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again. I'm grateful. It is a central processing unit. 1000 Great Minds is a central processing unit and administrative mechanism that manages the businesses that the company initiates, and also the businesses that we buy, create, or develop in the future.
Okay. So when you say we, right, the businesses, so whose businesses and who is we?
We are the 1000 Great Minds.
Okay.
1000 Great Minds is an entity. That is the administrative mechanism, the central processing unit that processes the business that we will manage across the United States in all 3,142 counties. And for that reason, we need this think tank to be the brain child to administer these functions, because they are valuable functions that the unique selling proposition speaks to, that the people really need.
Okay.
Not non-essential things, but essential things.
Essential things.
Essential
okay.
needs.
Yes, essential
Yes.
needs. And this is absolutely the time when we're talking about essential needs. And you really do take that a few steps further. And we'll talk about that coming up real soon. So it's a membership base. How is it, if I wanted to be a part of 1000 Great Minds, how would I go about doing that?
We have the website up, 1000greatminds.com. It has information on that. We have additional information that's not on the website that you can get when you put your information in the website, and we're able to respond back with that information to answer any comments, questions, or challenges that you may have.
Okay.
And it will kind of give you an idea of whether it's a fit for you or if it's not. And if it is, we welcome you to send your information through, because we need 1000 Great Minds bringing all skill sets from A to Z all know-how, intellectual capital, business acumen to the table to administer the programs that we have that solves essential problems for the people.
Problem solving.
Yes.
That's major. Problem. That is essential. Problem solving is at the top of essential needs.
Yes.
Top of essential needs. So wonderful. So, as a member, when you say skill sets from A to Z, so we're talking about business people, entrepreneurs. Who are we actually talking to?
Yes, professional people, accountants, business owners, lawyers, from A to Z, whatever they may be, because we need all skill sets. The collective IQ of 1,000 Great Minds. 1,000 Great Minds is not only an entity, it is a concept using 1,000 Great Minds, having the 2,000 eyes watching, the 2,000 ears listening, the 2,000 hands helping, and the 1,000 Great Minds assessing what's going on and giving the guidance in the direction to the goal line that we, our objective that we intend to satisfy for the people.
Okay, all right. So for the people, so the benefit is certainly the members get benefit, and they'll learn about that at 1000greatminds.com.
Yes.
But you mentioned this is for the people.
Yes.
So this is a think tank that is coming together to bring all of our intellectual capital, right? Putting value on intellectual capital and what we can create for ourselves. That's what I'm getting here. Is that right?
Yes, it is an economic empowerment project for the 1,000 Great Minds, and then for the people that we serve. And one of the benefits of being a part of the 1,000 Great Minds is we receive these multi-streams of income coming from these businesses that we operate in all 3,142 counties from the Atlantic to the Pacific, coast to coast.
Okay.
Our real estate agency will be in all those counties, our land development construction company, film production, environmental engineering, university, employment staffing, banking. That's the first business that the 1,000 Great Minds will own, is the bank operating in all 3,142 counties. So the idea is, have you ever invested in banks before? We have invested in real estate, but have we invested in universities before? Have we invested in employment staffing before? Have we invested in film production before? Have we invested in environmental engineering? So these are aspects of business, components of industry that we rarely hear of. We only hear about investing in real estate, but not buying banks or capitalizing on banks or running banks.
Okay.
So we have these 8 core businesses that we have.
All right. So then this sounds like a huge leveraging tool, right? A huge leveraging
you do a great
entity.
Job. Yes.
Right. And so as a member, I come in and I get to leverage these other 999 of great minds along with my own, and we come up with solutions in the area of those 8 core businesses, and then offer those 8 core businesses to the people, the general population, nationally, right? So when you talk about 3,142 counties, we're talking about a national program here. So it doesn't matter where you are in the United States, in any state that you're in, we have the ability to tap into one another. And at this time, with all this social distancing, and we're supposed to be like 2 arm lengths apart, 6 feet, all of that. This is so very powerful because we get to log in and do business everywhere and anywhere. Maybe things that we hadn't thought of before, like you say, these 8 core businesses, So that is very exciting and also enlightening because, I mean, if you're an entrepreneur and you're sometimes we're like solopreneurs, you've heard that before, right? Or mommypreneurs, and we're just doing it by ourselves. But here you have an opportunity to become a member of 1,000 Great Minds and tap in to a larger or leverage this think tank. So whatever it is that you're bringing to the table, you have other minds helping you, and you are helping others. And maybe quiet is kept, but when you look and you see the skyline downtown, right, that is corporations leveraging everybody who's working there. And that's how they keep going. That's how they're able to maintain. So what you've created, Mr. Michael Thomas, is a mechanism, administrative mechanism, to use your words.
Yes,
right?
It's a platform to wealth and lifelong security. We should not take this idea, concept, and unique selling proposition lightly. It is a platform to wealth and lifelong security that has never been done before.
Never been done before.
Yes, this is not ordinary. It's extraordinary. So many people come to me and they ask ordinary questions, and they speak in terms of ordinary things and the way conditions are and the way they've been for 400 years or 200 years or so forth and so on. This is an absolute extreme to that. This is the paradigm shift, as the paradigm shift of the dial-up telephone shifted into the cell phone that you can take to China. But this walking phone, the wall phone, you're doomed to your room.
Right.
And you can't move.
The length of the cord.
Yes, that's it. That's the extent of it. It's just like the bicycle is to the airplane, that extreme. It's that extreme. And we have to understand that what we are doing here is a new model of reality, bringing forth new systems for living that are debt-free.
Yes. Okay, so let's talk about the debt-free part, because a new model of reality would absolutely be debt-free, and a new system for living would release us. It would free us, right? And when I say us, I'm talking about all us. I'm talking about everybody, right? Everybody. It would free us from the debt. So what do you call that? We've got to get ready to go to break. But you have you have a way with words. I gotta say this to you. So what do you call that? And then we'll come back and talk about it.
One way of expressing that about the debt is the ABCs of D.
Yeah.
The ABCs of debt.
Okay, the ABCs of D.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, very powerful. So I wanted to use this segment to introduce you to Michael Thomas if you had not met him before. And when we come back from break, we're going to jump into the ABCs of D. Stay tuned. Happy Healthy Healing Day. I'm Shifa, the holistic healing voice of the soul of Mother Earth, inviting you to watch the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show every first and third Saturday right here on Access 21 TV. What do we talk about? Everything from juicing to old school tonics and herbs, what you can do to help yourself get better. So tune in to the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show every first and third Saturday at 9 a.m. I look forward to serving you. Welcome back. You're watching the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show. We're here with my special guest today, Mr. Michael Thomas from 1000greatminds.com. Let me put that on there because that's an easy way for you to get there. We are talking about the ABCs of D. I said we were going to jump into this debt issue when we came back, and the way that Michael has a way with words. So talk to us about the ABCs of D.
I want to first reference D, the debt.
Okay.
And how we pray, forgive us our debt and forgive our debtors. That is a prayer that we need to pay attention to and see if the prayer is being answered. In terms of the ABCs of D, we always have to have an account. And I want to say at this point that the account of 1,000 Great Minds is better than the current account that you have, that most people have. That's the A. And the B is the account always involves us being the borrower. And it's a conditioning that makes us always look for C, to look for credit. B leads to C, and credit, C leads to D, which is debt.
Okay.
So in that prayer, forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, involves the credit that we pursue that is absolutely unnecessary. Because we are wealthy. However, we don't have the central processing unit in place that will administer the wealth to us. And I want to revert back to the first segment about 1,000 great minds, compared to the 435 senators, House of Representatives that we have, and 100 senators, and the 9 Supreme Court justices and the president, for a total of 500 people who are running the country. So 1,000 great minds is the new paradigm where we take the essential needs of people and we give our undivided, sustained, focused, undistracted attention to solving these problems so that they are solved in reality, not after 150 years or 150 months or whatever it may be, century and a half. We have short period time frame on things that we, our checks and balances show us in a very short period of time whether we've solved the problems or not. And the problems are associated with D.
With debt.
Yes, and the final, it's not the final alphabet of it, is E. We are conditioned to believe that we have an eternal life in debt when we are absolutely wealthy, but we just don't know. But it takes someone like me to, that's my position, I know what to do. And the way that works is everyone can fly. You remember the song, I Believe I Can Fly?
I believe I can fly,
See,
yes.
they didn't know that they could fly. They were believing that they could fly, but we were been flying a long time. And we don't need pilot license. We don't need pilot training. We don't need pilot experience or pilot hours. We let one pilot drive. We just get on the plane. I'm the pilot for dealing with the debt and the real estate, the housing.
So getting us to these new models of reality and new systems for living away from these ABCs of D, this conditioning and programming that we have to have this account with somebody that puts us in a position where we are the borrower, right? I just want to make sure I have it right.
You're correct.
Where we're the borrower, and because we borrow, that means that we have this credit. And I have to say too that this whole credit thing has become very glamorous, right? It's like what's in your wallet and you know how many credit cards you have and all that kind of stuff. And it's as if being the debtor and being in debt and owing people, right, is this model of the current reality that's so fashionable, right? When really it puts everybody in bondage. And one of the things that I love about your website, it says 1,000 great minds first in freedom. First in freedom. And that is what gets us away from this, what you call this eternal life in debt. And I love that you brought the prayer in, because when you're praying that means that you're affirming every day that you make that prayer, every time that you make that prayer, that you are a debtor. Forgive us our debts, right? And we don't have to live in debt. There's another part of that same scripture that says, "Owe no man nothing but to love him." So when we are moving away from that old model, that old system, the ABCs of D, and into the new model of reality that is 1,000 great minds, what does that look like? What does that look like? You talked about we are wealthy. So what does that look like?
The wealth stems from many ideas, concepts, and realities of creation design. Wealth begets more wealth by creation design. One day you have 10 sheep, and the next day you have 16. And you might not have saw the copulation between the male and the female, but the birth came and you walked out into the pasture and you saw that 2 of the females had 3 lambs each.
Yes.
And that's the way it works. It doesn't need human touching or manipulation for that to work. It works by creation design, just like oxygen does, and just like vision does, and just like hearing does.
Yes.
These things that we don't pay much attention to, but are very, very highly valuable, that we need someone to give their attention to, helping to purge us into the new paradigm. And that's what 1,000 Great Minds is. It is an entity that helps to purge people at the 100-yard line to cross over into the new paradigm.
Okay.
That's what it is.
The goal line.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So there was a question during the break about resources. And so as a member of 1,000 Great Minds, are there resources available?
Definitely. As a member of the administrative body, the administrative mechanism, the central processing unit, 1,000 Great Minds, certainly it has extraordinary benefits beyond average, benefits that that you might say, who would have thunk it? Yes. Our first benefit is that we have these 8 core businesses.
Yes.
This bank, real estate company, land development, construction company, insurance company, film production company, environmental engineering, university employment staffing companies. And we get multi-streams of income from these companies. And I question...
So wait.
Yes.
So the 1,000
yes.
are all have interest in these 8 core businesses.
Yes.
In other words, it's a income stream to them.
Yes.
These 8 core businesses are income streams to the 1,000 Great Minds.
Extraordinary income streams.
Extraordinary income streams.
Yes.
Okay, so that's definitely a resource.
Yes.
Okay. Not to mention that the first resource really is your ability to leverage, to really leverage the intellectual capital.
Yes, collective IQ.
The collective IQ.
The group IQ
okay,
of 1,000 Great Minds.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
And we have training. When we come into the training, we actually have to retrain our minds to think in new paradigm, to where we can condense time to the extent that we can capitalize more money in a shorter period of time. And it would be a waste of time to even try to plan to capitalize as much money in a short period of time that when you can make you make less trying to do it in a longer period of time.
Okay.
And I'll give you an example. Candace Owens is on YouTube, and Candace Owens can come on and do a 15-minute video, and in 12 hours have 10 million views. That's high speed. That's not old paradigm. That's not horse and mule. That's not car. That's high speed, the speed of thought, business at the speed of thought. And so that's the paradigm that we're in now.
So with this new paradigm of with these time frames, with the resources, talk about one of the ventures. What's one of the things that we talked about your USP. So right now your USP, which is your unique selling proposition.
Yes.
Okay, that 1,000 Great Minds is working on right now is what?
That is the Howard Moore program. It's called the Howard Moore program, the Homes Without Mortgages program, nationwide Homes Without Mortgages program, that enables every desiring person in the country to get a house in addition to a good running car, truck, van, or SUV, no mortgage, no interest, no credit, no down payment, no job, no loan, no one turned down, no debt, no one turned down.
Okay.
So you can see the extreme difference of being turned down in this paradigm for housing, and you see homeless over here.
Right.
We serve homeless people with a house and a car, truck, van, or SUV. We serve people who have poor credit with a house and a car, truck, van, or SUV. We serve part-time workers with a house and a car, truck, van, or SUV. We serve people who have a 900 credit score. If they want a house and a car, truck, van, or SUV with no rent, mortgage, car payment, or debt to pay, that's what we do. The administration that we're living under now...
But it doesn't have to be a 900 credit score. It
No,
could be a 400 credit score.
It could be a 0 credit score.
Okay.
Yes. But the administration that we're working under now, the 545 representatives, the Supreme Court Justice, in the Senate, that's not what they're doing. They are debt oriented.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I think that I think we have a slide that we can put up back here that actually shows this no one turned down, you know,
Yes.
and this so car.
Truck, van, or SUV.
Okay, a
Debt
house.
free.
Okay, a
Yes.
house,
And
a car, truck, van, or SUV, debt free. We need to make a song.
It's already made. We got it. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's a resource. That's absolutely a resource. Now, who's this available to?
Anyone, any desiring person in the 3,142 counties in the United States.
Nationwide.
Nationwide, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so as a member, what do I get? So I'm a member of 1,000 Great Minds. I went to the website,
Yes.
1000greatminds.com.
Yes.
And I went to the registration page and I filled out the information. What do I get?
You're going to get access to the 1,000 Great Minds, the 2,000 eyes, the 2,000 hands, the 2,000 ears, to give their undivided, sustained, focused, undistracted attention to your newly trained, valuable mind. Because the mind now is trained so that everything that comes out of it within our concept has a minimum value of $2 billion called a mibikara, a minimum capitalization
That's
rate.
for the 1,000 Great Minds. That's how
Yes.
That's how we get trained to think.
Yes.
Is to create these
Yes.
mibikaras, these ideas that are worth $2 billion.
Yes, more than any check that you could ever write.
Okay.
Coming right out of your mind, beyond the professional basketball, football players, and musicians and things like that, because that's where we are right now. Our minds are so valuable now.
I have to put a pin in it right now. This is so interesting. You got to come back again. You got to come back again.
Thank you. I'm thrilled.
We are so excited always to have Michael Thomas with us, talk about 1,000 Great Minds. Go to 1000greatminds.com, and we'll be right back after this message. Stay tuned.
If you want to get a lot of people very angry at you, and you're in the health profession, it's fairly simple. Begin to cure incurable diseases.
It would ruin the economy. Billions of dollars.
Cancer is one of the richest multi-billion-dollar industries in the world, and every cancer patient is a commodity.
The huge pharmaceutical companies have everybody in their pocket, from the president on down to the senator's representative. Everybody gets paid.
Something's terribly wrong when you treat cancer and your hair falls out and you vomit. This is truly medieval.
People in the United States and developed countries who are treated for cancer don't even die of cancer. They die of the treatment of cancer.
Many years from now, people look back at this time and wonder what kind of Neanderthals we were.
A prophet many years ago, he said, "My people perish for lack of knowledge."
Welcome back to the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show. Yes, we're 6 months into worldwide coronavirus. Hence, you see I'm wearing my mask as part of a executive order here in North Carolina that we have to wear our masks. So just a reminder, okay, when you're out in public. So that means I don't have to wear it now, as I am behind the camera. Welcome back. I'm Shifa, the natural healing voice of the soul of Mother Earth, and I am here with part 2 of our Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show today. Thanks so much for tuning in. So let's shift gears now and talk about your health, your wellness, your healing, your healthy spirit, mind, body, family, finances. Let's talk about it in 13 dimensions, okay? 13 dimensions. Let's talk about it based on what is essential for our lives, And that is this vehicle that we occupy, this vehicle by which we have responsibility for, so that we can move through this planetary life, this planetary being on purpose, and using this vehicle to fulfill that purpose that is the divine blueprint that was put in us when we came to this planet. All right. Now that might be a whole lot for some of you, but you know in your heart of hearts, you know that you came here to do more than just get up and go to work every day, right? Is that all there is to life? Now, I'm not saying we don't have a job, we don't do the things that we love to do, right? Of course we do, right? So you know what we're really here to do is do the things that we love to do. And you won't find that thing that you love to do until you tap in to what it is your soul's purpose is for on this planet. So what am I leading to? We're going to talk about our autonomic nervous system. We're going to talk about the endocrine system, the chakras, and their relationship to them. We're going to talk about, so what do I mean when I say your endocrine? I'm talking about your pineal gland, okay? All of the glands that are part of the organs that are attached to, energetically attached to our chakra system, that are part of the autonomic nervous system. Well, what does that mean? That's the part of us that blinks our eyes and we yawn, the things that we don't have control over, the nervous system that's actually pumping our heart and running our blood through our veins, the things that take no conscious thought from us at all. That's our autonomic nervous system, sometimes referred to as our parasympathetic. So we're going to talk about it from not only this biological thing that's going on the inside, where we have our pineal, our hypothalamus, our pituitary, right, our thyroid, names that you probably recognize, right? These are all glands, and there's 7 major glands that are connected energetically, cosmically, to our chakra system, which is, of course, our crown, third eye, throat chakra, heart chakra, and they're all associated with these autonomic glands that are called our endocrine system. So why do we want to talk about this? Shifa Awakens is about moving us into a frame of consciousness, a frame of mind of being spiritually aware that we are as we were created to be. So I am not my body. I am free. I am still as God created me. That takes a remembrance, because we have been so conditioned and programmed to do what man say do, that we are not honoring how it is, why it is, our purpose to be here on the planet in the first place. We think it's about the technocracy, right? Doing all this stuff. It's not about that. That's part of it. We're here to master that. First, we have to master this. Master this. So we always talk about nutrition and exercise. Well, let's go deeper. Let's go deeper. Let's go higher. Okay, let's go higher. Let's talk about these cosmic energies that are coming into us. How is it that we even have the power to think? What is that, right? What is that? There's some energies, there are things going on that we are unconscious of that are happening, like when you blink your eyes, when you have to sneeze, right? The urge to go to the bathroom. Those are unconscious things that are happening in our body, the flow of our blood, the beat of our heart, the fact that our kidney is filtering our blood, and the amazing fact that our pineal gland actually handles more blood flow than our kidneys do. Okay, did you know that? So that's why we're talking about it today. We're talking about it because it's time for us to calibrate and synchronize the energy flow from the cosmic realm into the body vehicle, into the centers that are the chakras that have a color, a number, and a tone that are connected to the endocrine system that we know as pineal, pituitary, thyroid, and on those 7. And so I have a masterclass coming up where we're going to be going through that so we can calibrate our hormones and our nerve energy with the cosmic energy that is flowing into and through us all the time. That is the energy of life, all life. That is the energy of all life, no matter whether it's the plant kingdom, the ocean, the plant, the species that live on the ocean, whether it's us as humanoids on this planet or the birds of the air. All of life, okay, is an energy. It is an energy. And so that energy flow we can harness through our central nervous system, which is the cord, right, through which this energy is flowing in through us and through the crown and out through the root and deep into the earth, to the core of Mother Earth. So we have this connection. And if you could really hear this and understand, you would get what I'm about to tell you right now. We are really on this planet to be vibratory roots, cosmic vibratory roots that send out the energetic energy of the Creator who put us here in the first place, right? So I know I went like way in just now, all right? So just think about that. Think about that as I am sharing with you this eye-opening, spiritual awakening activation plan for calibrating your hormone, nerve, and cosmic energies and elevating that into awareness, remembrance, right? Recollection, because there's information that we came into the planet with that was programmed and conditioned out of us. So we're remembering who it is that we are as these spiritual beings and accessing the powers. Yes, accessing the powers that go with it, the powers that we have beyond the 5 senses. And this is the time for this. The powers that we have to access our divine self, right? With a capital S, right? Our essential self, our essence, that life force that is our essence. And as we are activating that, as we are accessing those powers, we are activating the divine blueprint within us, and the awakening will dawn on you. It will come into you. Your brain is a transmitting, receiving station. Mind is non-local. Mind is non-local. Brain is the apparatus through which your thoughts bring to you what you think about most. Now, you've all heard that before, right? Earl Nightingale said it many years ago. You become what you think about most of the time. So whatever it is that you got your thoughts on, that's the stuff that you're bringing into your life. And if you want to change that, awaken to something greater, to knowing something greater about who you are, why you're here, how to really get in touch with that, to realize, recognize that there is a whole nother timing frequency, okay, that you can operate on other than the one that man has put in place. It is the one that the whole cosmos runs on. Like the rising and setting of the sun, which is neither rising nor setting, it's the motion of the planet. that causes us to experience it in that way. Yeah. So this is about getting you to think about things way up here, that this energy is flowing through you, as you, and into the planet and up from the planet, Mother Earth, from the crystal core octahedron of the Earth up into you, and it creates what's called a toroidal. And in this class, I'm going to show you what that toroidal is, what it looks like and what it means for you to actualize your beingness inside the reality of that, so that you can access the powers that are yours, that are ours by divine birthright. Yes, divine birthright is yours. It's mine. And then as we come into the reality, the knowing of it, right? This is not just for information. If you're just looking for information, information is not connected to doing anything. It's just that you just know some stuff. You don't really even know it because you don't know something unless you can do it. All right. So I'm sharing this knowledge base so that we can activate and actualize who it is we are, purposefully engage, embrace what we're supposed to be doing here, and get that work done. You're watching the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show. I'll be right back with more. Stay tuned. Happy, healthy, healing day. Shifa here with some actionable tips. I took some notes from a program that I've been paying attention to, and it's helped me grow, so I just want to pass it on, okay? So get your blue pen and your white pad and get ready, because this is going to go really fast. Here's some actionable tips on how to maximize your income. How to maximize your income, all right? So what's the first thing you have to do? Think creatively. Think creatively. We talk about this all the time in Oneness Wellness Lifestyles. It's about being creative. How creative are you? We create value in our lives based on how creative we are, right? Our creativity and the service that we provide, whether that's a product or whether that's a service, right? That's how we can begin to increase our income. Now, and this is really about maximizing it. So get creative, right? And we talked about the 3 most important things. And if you missed that episode, I'm sure it'll air one time again. But you got to have your 3 most important things so you can do this. Next, you want to reduce your expenses. When we talk about cash flow, you can reduce your expenses. And how can you do that? Look at where you're eating out. How much are you eating out? How much are you spending when you eat out? How much is that latte costing you? Whether you get it from Starbucks, or you get it from Dunkin' Donuts, or you get it from Wawa, 7-Eleven, wherever it is, just start adding that up, okay? Also, your subscriptions. Scan your bank account and look at where you might have some dormant subscriptions, either to, back in the day, we used to get subscriptions to magazines. Now, it's to apps, right, online. So take a look at that. Do you have money that's seeping out like sand between your fingers, just falling through, that you're not really paying attention to? So manage. This is about how to manage your expenses. And next, negotiate everything, right? Negotiate everything. If they say it's this much, you say, well, I'll give you this much, right? Negotiate everything. Everything is negotiable, all right? And fourth, downgrade, right? So this is one that we don't necessarily like to talk about. We don't want to downgrade, but yeah, sometimes that's a good idea. You know, you might be, if you're like most people, living 2.5 times above the amount of money that you actually bring in the house. So you can kind of ratchet that down a little bit and save some money save the money. So this is how you maximize your income. I'm Shifa, and it's been my pleasure to be here and share that with you. Welcome back. Shifa here. We're talking about opening this gateway to higher consciousness through your chakras, your endocrine glands, which are, your pineal, your pituitary, your hypothalamus, your thyroid, your heart chakra, right? Your solar plexus, your sacral, your root, okay? These are connected to cosmic energies, forces that are unconscious to us until we access and activate them. Okay, access and activate them. So autonomic, just to review, autonomic nervous system, parasympathetic nervous system, all of those are the actions that are happening in our body that require no conscious thought on our part at all. So we completely take it for granted that we breathe. We completely take it for granted that some power is beating our heart, right? And we think that is only some spiritual thing, right? And it is a spiritual thing. It is a cosmic thing, and it is a biological, mechanical thing that we can get in touch with when we understand it, when we have some understanding of our essential self. And that's what we're talking about. I'm going to give you 4 steps, that I have a master class coming up. I'm going to give you 4 clear, definitive steps to open this gateway to higher consciousness, to open this gateway to activating the blueprint, your divine blueprint that you were born with, that it is your birthright to operate within. And to not be, and this is totally your choice, to not be run and ruled by conditioning and programming that has been set up by somebody else's mind. Because if you're not using your own mind, trust and believe somebody else is using it for you, and you are operating based on what they say reality is. Yeah, pregnant pause. So these 4 steps, let's look at them. And it's about equilibrium. How do we bring all of this into balance? There's a lot of talk about balance, right? But not everything in the body is like balance, right? This much on this side and this much on this side. It's what's called equilibrium. You might need more calcium than you need magnesium, but the amounts may not be equal, or what we would call balance, but they are in equilibrium in order to keep the body at its natural pH levels, right? It's nutritional. It's ability to operate in 100% functionality. That's the definition of health. Health is your body operating at 100% functionality, right? Optimum functionality, okay? So here is an introduction to these 4 steps to equilibrium in the body. So we get to move, right? Move. This is divinity in motion. That's right. You heard it. Write that down. This is divinity in motion. We get to move into divine right activity and no longer walk lockstep with self-imposed barriers. Did you get that? Because we have habits and hooks in us. We have conditioning and programming in us that we walk lockstep. In other words, we do whatever it say do, right? They say wear a mask. What do? We wear a mask, right? Now, I know we don't want to be infected with this so-called coronavirus, right? Right? So that's another show. But there are self-imposed barriers that we have that come from negative self-talk, that come from what people say, what we take in that people say about us that we believe is true about us, right? And then you got this ego thing happening where that is what's running us, you, right? Those around us. So those are self-imposed barriers when actually we can move into our divine right mind, our soul essence, and we can move in divine right activity. All right. So as we do that, we expand our personal inward observation and response to what is real. What is real? Okay, not necessarily what we can see and touch and feel, because we think the only things that are real are what we can see, feel, touch, and see, with our senses, hear, right? 5 senses. And there's so much more going on than that. There's so much more going on than we've been taught. So by expanding our personal inward observations, check yourself out. We used to say, give yourself a checkup from the neck up, right? We get to be our own observers and look at what parts of our conduct, behavior, thoughts is where it starts, thoughts are not in alignment with divine right action, with divine right activity. And then shift that. And that expansion taps us in to that higher cosmic energy that gives us the power, the strength, the courage to be able to be different in a world of automatons where everybody's just lockstep doing whatever they told to do, okay? In an artificial timing frequency at that. And we'll talk about that as the time goes on. And this inward observation and response to what is real will begin to shift you. It will begin to shift you, but it has to happen with personal honesty and integrity. And you will become, this is number 3, fulfilled from within. Fulfilled from within. In other words, you're not looking at stuff, have to have all this stuff out here to make you feel good, to make you feel that your life is fulfilled. It's not about how much you can get. It's about how divinely in right step you can be, capital beingness. And it takes your heartfelt participation to listen, because there is that still small voice. There is that conscious, right? That conscientiousness that tells even the baby what's right from wrong. Okay? And certainly as adults, we have the ability to listen to our essential self that is always rightly guiding us. Always. Always. And as we do that, we awaken. And this whole process that I take people through called Shifa Awakens, first of all, it was about me waking up and still awakening, because the cosmos, the universe, the galaxy is full of stuff to awaken to. Okay? So this awakening is what we are moving toward in terms of this being fulfilled from within. And then as we awaken, we begin to rise. We say, well, what do you mean rise, right? I'm talking about this process of soul ascension, that you begin to recognize that, hey, I'm not my body. I am free. I am still as God created me. That I don't live in the body. I have a body. And you begin to rise out of mundane, chained to the earth thinking. And you begin to operate in higher levels of consciousness. Higher levels of consciousness. So I said this is about awakening, right? And entering this gateway. This gateway. And so what am I talking about? Say, well, Shifa, this is like so much. Okay, so you've heard it like this, right? The kingdom of God is within you. And if thine eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. You've heard that before. So we have these wonderful scriptural references, but we don't have the how-to, right? How do we do that, right? How do I access the kingdom of God within me so that it shows up everywhere around me? How do I do that, right? And what does it mean that if my eye be single, my whole body will be full of light? Well, you know, the pineal and the pituitary are vision, is vision and hearing. And in this masterclass, I want to take you through the biology that proves that, okay? And how it is that you can tap in through visualization and meditation, and prayer works too, but prayer is talking to God, right? Meditation is listening to God, right? And for some of you, if God might not be, so think of it, it might not be how you might want to hear this. Think of this as G-O-D, okay? G-O-D, galactic ordering dynamic. All right, the power that orders everything in the galaxy. So however you want to deal with it, know that that's the power that I'm talking about, the source of life. So this anchoring of your soul to your soul star, new language, which is above you, which is like 50 feet above you. Some call it your guardian angel, all of these things. When you align, when you calibrate your hormones, your nerve energy, and the cosmic energy coming into your chakras, which are energy wheels, it will burst all types of wonderful energy into your system and fill your cellular structure with light. Fill your cellular structure with light. Then I be single, your whole body will be full of light. I be single means focus. It means focus on your awakening. Focus on entering the path and the gateway to these realms of higher consciousness, to these dimensions of more and more for your life. So go to ShifaHarmoniousHealing.com. Shifa, S-H-I-F-A, HarmoniousHealing.com. And you will be able to touch base with me and learn more about this wonderful chakra and nerve energy. We are moving forward, upward, into a new reality. New models of reality, the new systems for living. And it's a beautiful ride. You've been watching the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show. And I'm your host, Shifa, and I'm so thankful and grateful that you've taken the time to tune in to our show. Until next time, have a happy, healthy, and healing day. Blessings.